Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Diego with the lovely Karina here in Bogota, Colombia, high up in the Andes Mountains, waiting for our K1 visa to get adjudicated at the U.S. CIS Service Center in California. And we're in month 6. We applied in April of 2022. This is October 2022. And actually this is November 2022. We're going to make the video in October and we're going to publish it in November. So this is November 2022. Okay, now this video is about how to process a K1 visa. Okay, the checklist. This is the K1 visa basic checklist for you guys and ladies that have not once ever filled out a K1 visa application, and you're trying to figure out, do I need to hire an attorney? Do I need to hire a company to do this for me? No, it's an easy process. If you can, 1, follow directions, 2, follow directions, 3, don't rush the process. Take your time putting the K1 visa package together. Here is a checklist for you guys, a basic checklist, okay? Come on along. So the first thing that you got to be, Mr. Sponsor, Mrs. Sponsor, you have to be qualified to process a K1 visa. And what I mean by that is, number 1, you have to be a U.S. citizen, okay? You have to meet certain income requirements that are equal to or above the federal income requirements or above the poverty guideline. And you have to be single or divorced or a widow. You have to be able to be legally able to marry your beneficiary. So let's get started with the basic checklist. Okay, number 1, Mr. Sponsor, Mrs. Sponsor, you need a copy of your U.S. passport or your birth certificate or your naturalization certificate. You need to include these in your K1 visa package. This proves you are a U.S. citizen. Number 1 requirement to file a K1 visa package is you got to be an American citizen. You can't do it as a green card holder, okay? So now you've established that you're an American citizen, Mr. or Mrs. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, get a photocopy, make a copy of your biographic page of your passport. Not the whole passport, the face and the signature, the biographic page. You need to get copies of your beneficiaries' passports and any children. Karina's from Venezuela. We made a copy of her Venezuelan passport and we included it in our K1 visa package. You have to prove evidence of previous relationships, marriages, etc. have been terminated legally. So if you were married in the past, make sure you include the death certificate of your former spouse. If you've been divorced in the past, make sure you include all the divorce decrees. If you've been married 3 times, you got to have 3 divorce decrees in your K1 visa package. Okay. Now, so the next important thing is you got to have evidence of meeting each other in person within the 2 years prior to you submitting your visa package. This is a must-do, must-have. You must have met each other in person in the 2 years prior to you submitting your visa package. With that said, if you've met each other in person, you got to back that up with evidence. Immigration doesn't take your word for it, so you need to include boarding passes of your flights to your beneficiary's country of origin, hotel receipts, dinner date receipts. You bought your beautiful fiance a nice gift and keep those receipts. You bought an engagement ring for her. Keep the receipt. Take a picture of the engagement ring. Include it in your visa package, okay? Another part of this checklist, evidence of any legal name change. If you have changed your name legally in the past, you must prove this name change was legally accomplished to immigration with lawful documents, okay? Another part of this K1 visa checklist is a sworn statement from you, Mr. Sponsor, and from your beneficiary that you intend to marry each other. So you're going to write letters of intent to get married. Now, these are sworn legal documents. These are legal documents that you sign and you date. And you must include evidence that you guys plan on getting married to each other. Evidence and legitimacy of your relationship. Very important in the K1 visa package, okay? If your beneficiary has been on vacation in the United States of America in the past. If you were from the Philippines, or if you're from Nigeria, or if you're from Colombia or Venezuela, and you went to the United States on vacation, you must prove to immigration that you did this entry and exit legally, and you do that by printing Form I-94. You go to the Homeland Security website and print your Form I-94, included in your K-1 visa package. Very important. Mr. Sponsor, Miss Beneficiary, you must prove, if you met your fiance, if you online on a dating app like in a Cupid app, in a Cupid online website, you have to download the terms of service to show immigration that this is not an international marriage broker. If you met each other through an international marriage broker, okay, it's called an IMBRA. If you met each other through an IMBRA, then there's other processes that must be included in your K-1 visa package, okay? In your K-1 visa package, you're going to require one passport style photo of you, Mr. Sponsor, Mrs. Sponsor, and two passport style photos of you, Mrs. Beneficiary, Mr. Beneficiary, including any children, and the photos have to be in a specific way, okay? The passport visa photos are a critical part of your K-1 visa package, and they need to be put in Ziploc bags and attached with a paperclip behind your USCIS Form I-129F. And the sun just went behind a cloud, which is messing up my lighting here in our apartment in Colombia, okay? On the photos that you're going to include in your visa package, your beneficiary and you and any of her children must write their names on the back of the passport photos in pencil, full name, so if immigration get the pictures mixed up with somebody else's visa package, they're not going to be sending your visa package to somebody else's address, okay? Make sure you identify the photos in the visa package. And we made a video about how to create a photo for immigration. Moving along, ladies and gentlemen, moving along with this checklist, the basic checklist for your K-1 visa, birth certificates, okay? Your beneficiary and any of her children, you need to get copies of their birth certificates. They don't have to be notarized because immigration is going to want to see the original documents at the end of embassy interview. Get copies of her or his birth certificates, any children, and get these birth certificates translated into English by a certified translator. Now, we use the Spanish group. It's a company in California, and we're not promoting the Spanish group, but we find them to be very quick, very accurate, and USCIS approves and accepts the Spanish group as an authorized translator for copying documents. Next on the K-1 visa checklist are police certificates. Now, Karina lived in Venezuela and then moved to Colombia in 2018. We're in 2022, so that's been longer than 6 months. She's a legal resident of Colombia, so we got police certificates from Venezuela and from Colombia, got them translated into English using the Spanish group, and we included them in the K-1 visa package. Are they required? Do you have to get police certificates this early in the visa process? No. Did we do it? Yes. Why? Because it adds some backbone and strength to your visa package. The USCIS officer will have zero doubt that European beneficiary is going to be a future problem to the United States of America. And then the police certificate is good for about 6 months, and then you're going to get new police certificates when you get to the National Visa Center process after you get your NOA-2 letter. You get your NOA-2 letter, your visa's approved. Why is your visa approved? Because you submitted a strong visa package. Get new police certificates, get them translated into English, and then you're going to upload those into the SEAC system at the MVC. When you submit your K-1 visa package, Mr. and Mrs. Sponsor, Ms. Sponsor, don't forget to include USCIS Form I-134, which is your affidavit of support, which is a document that you sign, a legal document that you sign that tells and shows USCIS that you are equal to or greater than 100% of the federal income requirements for a K-1 visa. When you get to the United States and get married, you're going to file an adjustment of status, and then your income requirement has to be 125% of the minimum federal income requirements. But right now, you're on a K-1 visa, you have to be at 100% or greater for USCIS federal income requirements. Affidavit of support, fill it out accurately, don't make any mistakes, sign it, date it, include it in your K-1 visa package. Mr. Sponsor, you're going to need to include in your K-1 visa package your latest and greatest tax return to the IRS, including W-2s, 1099s, and any pay stubs if you're self-employed. Okay? The tax return, W-2s, the amount on the W-2s and the 1099s added up must equal the amount of money that you made, that you declared on your tax return. Okay? So if you submit a tax return and you made 50 grand, but your W-2s add up to 40 grand, there's a problem there, and immigration will flag it, send you an RFE, and ask you for the W-2s. So don't mess that up. Don't forget to add the W-2s, include them with your tax returns in your K-1 visa package. Very important. The numbers have to equal each other. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a basic checklist. You also need to include photos in the evidence when you guys met each other in person. If you met each other 3 times in a 4-year period, you need to have photos covering that 4-year period. If it's only 1 year, that's fine. If you've only been together 1 year and you have photos and you've been together, you've met each other in person once, twice, 3 times, include all that evidence in your K-1 visa package. The stronger the K-1 visa package, the more confident the immigration officer is going to be in your relationship being real, and he or she's going to approve it, and it's going to go to the National Visa Center, and then it's going to go to the embassy, and then you're going to go get your medical done, your medical screening done. Don't forget you need passport photos for your medical interview, and then you're going to go to your face-to-face interview at the embassy. You're going to get the visa put in your beneficiary's passport, and then you are going to leave her beneficiary's country and start your life and live happily ever after, married and have lots of children, and start your lives in the United States. We hope this little video was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions, ask me in the remarks block. If I don't know the answer, I'll find the answer. Okay? The K-1 visa process is very easy, so long as you don't rush, you pay attention to details, and download the instructions from USCIS.gov. Go to the USCIS.gov website, download the forms that you need, USCIS 129F and USCIS Form 134, Affidavit of Support. Print the instructions on how to fill these forms out. Don't guess, okay? Don't guess. Thanks for watching our videos. We're here for you guys. We will help you through this process, and we will see you in Colombia, and hopefully soon in the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, the K-1 visa process is not difficult, okay? The hardest part about this whole thing probably is the mental strain you're going to be under, waiting and waiting and waiting for your visa to get approved. Once you get it filled out, once you fill out your K-1 visa properly, you didn't make any typos, you didn't make any mistakes, you didn't spell your beneficiary's name wrong, you didn't put her passport number in her you didn't make any mistakes, okay? Triple check, quadruple check everything before you mail it. When your visa package is ready, it should be about this big in an Office Depot folder using document protectors, not some little piddling little binder made out of paper. You want to protect your beneficiary's future with you. You protect the documents and their copies. You protect the documents in a plastic binder in document protectors, okay? Very important. When you mail your visa package off to the Dallas lockbox, make sure you include USCIS Form G1145, so that way you get a text message from the Dallas lockbox saying they received your package. Ship it by FedEx or UPS. Do not mail it. You need to be able to track your K-1 visa package. If you want to know if the Dallas lockbox received your visa package, include that form. They'll text you, and then look to make sure they cash your check. Make sure you fill out the check correctly. Okay, lots of visas get sent back to the sponsor because the person couldn't fill out the check properly. And we made videos about how to fill out the check properly. The K-1 visa process is a detailed mental game, but you will get your visa approved if you qualify for the visa Mr. Sponsor, Miss Beneficiary, if you qualify and your relationship is real and you back it up with evidence, you will get your visa. Now, the processing times right now is about 14 to 16 months from K1, NOA1 to NOA2 letter, okay? And then from NOA2 letter to the National Visa Center, it's about 4 to 6 weeks, and then maybe longer, it could be 2 months. And then from the National Visa Center, it goes to your beneficiary's embassy, and then you have to wait for an embassy interview, which is all on the embassy, okay? Be patient, be mentally strong, and do not get frustrated with this process. It's in place for a reason, and one day, very soon, you and your fiance will be on a plane, flying to the United States, getting ready to get married, okay? Hang in there, guys. We will help you through this process. Hang in there.